Incoming freshman at West Campus High School.
I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the Republic of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to introduce Rebecca Corrales, who will be a freshman at West Campus High School after completing an illustrious career at Kit Carson Middle School, where she maintained, a 4.0 GPA. During her 8th grade year, Rebecca was an officer on the student council and participated in the Kit Carson Summer Leadership Camp. She was also part of the California Student Advisory Board on Education, where she spent 5 days researching and writing proposals to present to the California State Board of Education and State Superintendent Tom Torlakson. Rebecca has utilized her leadership skills to support many important initiatives at Kit Carson and in her neighborhood. She was a student member of the Kit Carson design team, which was a very good result for everybody, representing the student voice during the team's discussions of program redesign at the school. To keep her mind active during the summer months and continue to give back to the community at large, Rebecca recently began volunteering at the Moak Center. Is that correct? Mock, thank you. Where she greets families from around our district. She's involved in service activities in her community and does volunteer yard work and other tasks for elderly neighbors. The characteristics that distinguish Rebecca Corrales are her steadfast perseverance and determined follow-through on task, her unwavering commitment to excellence, and her extreme kindness to others. For these things and more, we recognize a student leader in our midst, Rebecca Corrales.
Thank you so much for having me here. I would like to thank my parents, and I would also like to thank a few staff from Kit Carson and also my principal, Mr. Waters. I would like to thank Mr. Jonathan Raymond, Mary Young, and everybody who has helped me along the way. And thank you so much.
Next, we have the item 5.0, announcement of action taken in closed session.
None, Madam President.
Thank you. Okay. Item 6.0, agenda adoption. I understand we need to pull an item. Superintendent? Acting superintendent?
Thank you. Thank you. Need an orientation. On behalf of Superintendent Jonathan Raymond, we're recommending that item 10.3 be removed from the agenda.
We have a motion to remove item 10.3 by Vice President Cuneo and a second by Member Terry. And with that, I'll take the vote for the agenda adoption. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? And abstentions? So we have an adopted agenda with the exception of item 10.3. Thank you.
Moving on to item 7.0, I'd like to read a statement first. This meeting of the Sacramento City School Board is being videotaped in its entirety and will be cablecast without interruption on Metro Cable 14, the Government Affairs channel on the Comcast and SureWest cable systems. Today's meeting will be replayed Saturday, August 4th at 9 a.m., Sunday, August 5th at 9 a.m., and Monday, August 6th at 9 p.m. on Channel 14, and will be webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. A video copy is also available for checkout from any library branch. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should fill out a speaker identification form located in the back of the community room and give it to Chief Communications Officer prior to the conclusion of the item's presentation. Thank you, Gabe. Please speak into the microphone when addressing the board and state your name for the record. Please limit comments during public comment to items not listed on the agenda. If you're found to be commenting on an item that is on the agenda, you'll be asked to defer until your item comes up on the agenda. Please turn off all cell phones or place them on silent or vibrate. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item 7.0, public comment, 15 minutes. Mr. Gabe Ross.
We have 16 items, 16 comments under item 7.0.
We traditionally limit the time since it will go over the 15 minutes. Is it the pleasure of the board to give each comment, public comment maker a minute?
Yes.
We have approval. Thank you. So we will ask our timekeeper to put 1 minute on the clock. Each person presenting their comments to the board will limit their comments to 1 minute apiece. And with that, please, Mr. Ross, orient our speakers and call the first four. Thank you.
I'll read speakers' names 4 at a time, so if folks can please line up behind the podium in the order you're called. Our first 4 speakers are from Alan Young, Sylvia Moran, Jay Kirschner, and Philip Horn.
Hello and good evening. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. As you are aware, hopefully aware, my name is Alan Young. I'm the principal of the Met Sacramento, and I'm a company man. I'm a product of this awesome district. My wife works here. My kids go to these schools. Tonight, however, I speak to you as solely the principal of the Met Sacramento, and I need to advocate for my teachers who have attended the 50-plus hours of training needed to work at a big picture learning school, and the students who have benefited from this innovative training. Our entire teaching staff has from tenured veterans to new hires, have all done the training that you'll hear of or that you would have heard about today had 10.3 been left on the docket. The training consists of working with students in many manners and has had positive results, so much so that we're the flagship status for the Foundation of California Community Colleges and so much more, and I've spoken for now a minute. So there we are. There's much more to say, and hopefully later I will get a chance to do just that.
Thank you very much.
There we are.
Good evening. My name is Sylvia Moran, and I am the grandparent, the grandmother of a student at the Met, Maureen Nevis. Maureen has attended the Met for the last 3 years. She is entering her senior year this year, and she has thrived under the Met program, which is a high academic program, and it's also professional and career-based. It's a wonderful program, and the teachers are highly trained. I taught for 38 years under the ELL program, and I know what it is like to have teachers that are trained for a specific type of program. You need the people who really are interested in that program to begin with, and then they are willing to go through the training. I just want to talk on behalf of those teachers. We need to keep those teachers in place. They are wonderful. They do their job, and they have the training. Thank you very much.
My name is Jay Kirschner. I have a student at the Met also. And out of my son, I expect results. Out of Alan as the principal, I expect results. And out of the teachers, I expect results. And the Met gets results. And so I'm proud to have my student attend the school. I'm concerned that if we lose some of the teachers that have gone through the extensive training, we're not going to get the same results. If we break up the advisories that stay together for the full 4 years, we're not going to get the same results. As a school board, you're going to hold Alan accountable for the results of his school. He's going to be tasked with holding his teachers accountable for results. And if we take those teachers away, we're not going to get those. So I would just encourage you not to mess with success. They have a great track record, and I just would encourage you to keep the teachers that they have due to their training, their specialized training, and the consistency of the advisories together. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Philip Horn. I've been teaching at the Met for 8 years. We are one of your schools that has consistently been a high-performing school for which there is never any concern. The centerpiece of our entire program is that we as advisors stay with our kids for 4 years, and we build strong relationships. Tell you a quick story. One of my students, Juan, was absolutely illiterate, first grade reading level, but because I got to have this kid for 4 years, he left with a 9th grade reading level. He was already basically a school dropout. Our job is to serve those kids who are not served by traditional educational methods, and we do a very good job. And I think what allows us to be successful is that we build strong relationships over a 4-year period. But if teachers are cycled through the school, we can't build those strong relationships. Thank you.
Our next 4 comments are from Cindy Chan Britton, Meryl Shader, Chico Gonzalez, and Katie Hensley.
Dear board member, my name is Cindy Chen Britton. My daughter, Nita Gervais, goes to the Met Sacramento. I'm here to request the board consider the proper funding for Met Sacramento to continue employment of a teacher / advisor, Hernando Hua, for school year 2012 and 2013. Hernando went to hired by the Met beginning of this year. He brought his commitment, passion, knowledge, sensitivity, encouragement, and other skill to the advisory. He really changed my daughter's life. We want to see, as a parent, we want to see he stay at school for rest of 3 years. Thank you.
My name is Meryl Shader. I'm a parent of a student at the Met Sacramento. I dislike public speaking, but I'm here because I feel so strongly about the need of the board to give the Met a skip in order for them to retain the teachers who have unusual training and are well suited to work in an environment that isn't for everyone. And that's kind of the whole point of the Met. It's one child at a time, and the teachers, through their training, are able to help them be successful in ways that are very hard to imagine if you aren't there. I have people asking me about it all the time, and most parents I know say, why can't some of the Met's techniques be brought to other schools? So the idea of monkeying with it without keeping the specialized teachers there seems so unfortunate for our students. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Chico Gonzalez. I'm an educator, artist, and poet, and until recently an advisor at the Met Sacramento High School. I'm here to talk about how advisors go above and beyond their duties, not because they're forced to do so, but because they're passionate about educating, guiding, and enriching their students' lives as well as their own. At the Met, we encourage our students to pursue their passions, and the best way to do so is by leading by example. The last academic year, I had the pleasure of serving as advisor for Mecha de la Met. Mecha is an organization that promotes community involvement, cultural awareness, and higher education. Through Mecha, we took students to educational conference throughout the greater Sacramento area, including the Sac City Unified School District Latino Student Leadership Conference. And I had also the pleasure of establishing a committee called the Celebrating Diversity Committee, where we did events like Raza Back to School Night for Spanish-speaking parents, the Cesar Chavez Day of Service and Learning, and the first annual Cinco de Mayo event. And a lot of our advisors actually put a lot of effort into our students, and that's something that we want to leave behind. We love our students, and we want to empower them. Thank you.
Board, thank you so much for hearing us today. My name is Katie Hensley, and until currently, I was a teacher at the Met Sacramento as well. I have 4 years of big picture learning and hundreds of hours of big picture training. I can guarantee that I have more than most other people, other teachers in the district, currently not at the big picture school. This commitment that the teachers make to the school, after hours, enrichment programs, the college applications I'm helping my students who are 2 years graduated complete, and many, many anecdotal stories, which I think you will hear tonight, I think are a testament to the amount of work and dedication that Met teachers put towards their students. That 4 years that we spend with our advisory is crucial and incredibly important in supporting our students. We are their only educational advocate, more often than not. And so that is incredibly important along with our big picture training. And I think it would be a shame to take away 3 to 5, the numbers keep fluctuating, 3 to 5 of our staff members when we only have 13. We are a very small school, and so a hit of that size is incredibly detrimental. Thank you for hearing us.
Our next 4 comments are from Carrie Ellis, Megan Elsey, Esmeralda Tapia, and Antonia Slagle.
Hi, I'm Carrie Ellis. I too do not like public speaking, so it's pretty tough being up here, but I felt I needed to be here as a parent of a Met student. My daughter is a sophomore this year, and she's been in Katie Hensley's advisory. She was once a GATE student and was falling behind the past few years, and I've seen her turn around completely at the Met. She's looking forward to college, which was something I was being concerned about. And I attribute that completely to the Met, and I think it would be incredibly detrimental to her if her advisor was not, Katie Hensley was not there next year. And I'm sure that's the case with the other advisors as well. It's a wonderful school, it's unique, and I think it's important to keep it as it is. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Megan Elsey, and my son Carl Trudeau is a student at the Met. He transferred there after going to McClatchy, where he was very bored and hated school, acted out, did drugs, skipped school. So he transferred to the Met when he started liking school again. In fact, he pretty much loved it there, even though he probably wouldn't admit that. He loved his advisor, Henaro Ulloa. So the Met is a special place because of the individual attention they give to students. And they really think about students, and the advisor is really important because those advisors, they like being there, they like doing what they're doing, and the Met has to be allowed to hire teachers that want to be there and want to learn the program, similar to Waldorf schools where it just doesn't work to take someone and just plug them into the Met. So please allow the Met to hire teachers and keep teachers who are already there. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Esmeralda Tapia. I'm a Spanish teacher. I taught at the Met High School for a year because I was surplus and I had no choice but to teach at the Met. I didn't receive the adequate training as the current teachers do and the students from what the students benefit from. And just as the students choose to attend the Met, I strongly agree that teachers should also choose to teach at the Met. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Antonia Slagle. I'm a now former advisor at the Met. I think we're working on 10 years of experience with the district. I understand that the district is very supportive of alternative programs, as evidenced by its move to try to get a skip for the Accelerated Academy. In reading the documents from the lawsuit, it seems like we share a lot of parallels with what the district would have argued for the Accelerated Academy. Number one, it said the Accelerated Academy addresses the needs of students who are not successful in a comprehensive high school environment. If you were to ask all of our students who have left the Met, who are at the Met, they would agree. We have a lead teacher, it's our advisor that works similarly. we've had training. In fact, we've had lots more training than I'm sure the Accelerated Academy folks have. And finally, just like Brandon Young argued, staff members are certificated in a specific subject area. They possess a keen insight to the type of students and have a very good understanding to the types of issues and circumstances that surround the students. Thanks.
Our next 4 comments are from Leticia Magayan, Pamela Patterson, Melissa Murray, and Grace Yates.
Hi, my name is Leticia Magayan, and I am the parent of a 12th grader at the Met who is doing very, very well at that school. She's currently working at City Hall under Angelique Ashby. She's taking college courses, getting A's, and doing really well through the Panther Pipeline and Sac State Agreement. And I mention this because all through this, she's been mentored and held up by these teachers and her advisors specifically, who have helped her with this. And this is possible because of their passion, but also because of their special training. When I found out that 45% of those advisors have pink slips now, it's just very disheartening, because not to have those teachers there benefits no one. It does not benefit the students who come to that school expecting a certain type of education. It doesn't benefit surplus teachers who are placed into positions that they're not qualified for because of their lack of training. And it doesn't benefit the district to have a school that is not able to fulfill its mission because it doesn't have the teachers trained for that job. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Pamela Patterson. I'm an advisor at the Met Sacramento. I'm here today because of my concern for the loss of 5 of my fellow teachers. While there are many reasons why it brings discord to my school, my strongest concern has to do with the effect it will have on their advisories. The 110 some odd students who they work with directly with the advisors, advisory is more than a homeroom. It is considered to be a family unit. These advisors have spent 1 or more years building trust with their students, families, and mentors. Losing them would be the same as cutting strings to a network of 330 or more. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Melissa Murray. I'm also a parent of a student at the Met. She was a first-year freshman. I would like to say, first off, that for the first time in about 4 years, she has raised her GPA above a 2.5, and the Met has completely changed her attitude. One of the main reasons is because of her relationship with her advisory, which is Katie, who I have constant communication with, and I'm also a teacher. I've been teaching in Sacramento for 9 years, 5 of those with Sac City Unified. I've never had the experience to be able to communicate not only via text, but email, as well as phone conversations on a weekly basis with my daughter's teacher, advisor, to help her guide her along. Not only that, but the principal knows my daughter by name for the first time in my child's short high school experience and throughout all of the past years of her schooling. This is a place that cares, and it's effective, and it's irresponsible of the district to not grant these students the option of a charter school specialized education. Thank you.
Good evening, board members. Can you hear me? Good evening, board members. My name is Grace Yates, and I'm a teacher at the Met Sacramento. I've been with the school for about 7 years, plus a few more months. As being there for so long, I've been a part of the hiring committees and building the culture at our school. Being a part of the hiring committees, each hire that we've made in the past is very carefully considered as to what they're going to bring culturally and also academically. We have a very small staff of only about 13 main teachers. And so when you take away 5 or more of those teachers, you're really hurting the balance that we've created in the culture and in the academics of our school. So my concern really is having surplus teachers, not that they're not going to be great teachers, but that by bringing them in, this careful consideration, this balance will be greatly disrupted. Thank you.
Our final 4 comments on 7.0 are from Miette McCrae Ellis, Ian Arnold, Darlene Anderson, and Donna O'Mara.
Hi, my name's Miette McCrae Ellis. I have really bad stage fright, but I felt like I needed to come up here and say this. My advisor is like my second mom. She is a huge part of my life. She has helped me grow, and I feel like if you take her away from me, if you take any of them, of the teachers away from the Met, it's ripping a part away of our family, because we are a huge family, because we're such a small school that we're so tight-knit, and we know everyone there. We know everything that goes on with them, and we're just too close to be split apart, and I would really appreciate it if you let my advisor stay. So, thank you.
Hi, good evening. Ian Arnold, SEIU Local 1021. I'll reserve the bulk of my comments for item 9.1, but I wanted to raise 2 issues. The first meeting I attended here, my predecessor brought up the issue of some of our members still have not been paid from June 17th of 2011. Administration was very upset that we raised the issue because they believed that it had been taken care of. My response to that, and here to you and to administration, is stop telling us you've paid our folks, show us you've paid our folks. Our folks don't believe they've been paid. If they haven't been paid, we need to get it taken care of. If you have paid them, you should have some records. It should be simple to fix. The other issue I want to bring up is I'm a little concerned given the imminent retirement of Mr. Cerna, with whom we've worked closely, and I have not seen any board items for a succession plan. Are you doing a statewide search? Do you have some other plan? I think you're running out of time to find somebody with whom we can work, and it would be nice to have a little overlap. Thanks.
Good evening, Board. I'm coming to you because I have a great concern about how enrollment has been counted at the Accelerated Academy and Success Academy, and how the dollars have been predicted to, everybody has to have a concept idea about how much student enrollment is going to be for all the school sites. But when you claim 0 and the board approves 0, then that tells me that something's wrong, because there's no reason why the board would approve 0 attendance in these academy programs unless something illegal was going on. So I'm asking, is the board complacent with the criminal activity of the county enrollment? Because I've searched, I've done some research, and according to California law, the teacher is the one that counts enrollment, and at the site level where students are attending, but it's not happening that way.
Good evening, board members. My name is Donna O'Mara, and I'm a school bus driver, and I have a few things to say. The state has funded home-to-school transportation at the same level that it was funded last year. These funds cannot be spent on any other purpose, yet the school district only wants to partially restore home-to-school transportation. This isn't fair to the children or their families. Children's safety is at risk if they are forced to cross busy intersections, or if they are forced to walk in neighborhoods that many have child predators. There are routes that are not on safety lists that are busy roads, like Stockton Boulevard. The school board shouldn't pick and choose who gets to transportation and who doesn't. Our children deserve the same level of service they've received last year. Put the children first and provide them with transportation they need. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 8.0, consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve. We have a first by Vice President Cuneo and a second by Vice President Wu to approve the consent agenda. All in favor? Opposed? And abstentions? The ayes have it. Item 9.0, communications. 9.1, employee organization reports, starting with CSA. SCTA, SEIU. Mr. Arnold, we'll wait till the room clears so that way you're not interrupted. Okay, go ahead.
Good evening. Thank you again. So I want to just kind of run through this issue as briefly as I can. So at the last meeting, you ratified our agreement. It was not easy for us to come to you with those concessions and with a contingency plan that essentially is going to decimate the checks of our members. But it was the right thing to do. It was the responsible thing to do. We came to you, you ratified it, and again, that was the right thing to do. Our concern now is that in the face of massive layoffs and concessions, the district doesn't appear to be doing the right thing by our members some of the time. I'll give you some examples. We have something called the 195-day rule. Somebody who's worked a little more than half a year, if you forget to track and they work more than 194 days, you automatically place that person in a permanent position. There's no competitive interview process. We've had folks brought in under that since the layoffs. So essentially, you've had employees who've been here for 10 years, who've been laid off, while folks who've been here for less than a year now have a permanent position. Whether that's simply failing to track those days or whether it's a deliberate attempt to replace tenured employees with new folks, I don't know, but I would like to know. Administrators are telling us they want to bring back laid-off custodians who work 8 hours and replace one 8-hour person with two 3.5-hour people. That's a violation of our contract. It's simply a way to avoid paying benefits to get the same amount of work done. Per diem employees, replacements, are being brought in to replace laid-off workers with no regard for seniority or a 39-month layoff list. In fact, when we ask about it, we're told by some of the managers, we don't care about seniority. We don't want those people. We want to pick who we want. That's not appropriate. We also see, while our folks are not being brought back to work, that in some areas you're hiring managers to manage areas that don't have any employees doing the work. I'm not quite sure how that works. And again, you'll be getting some complaints from some of the sites because some of our custodians now have split assignments, so they'll work at one site for part of the day and then go on to another site. Well, the administrators at the first site they go to are refusing to release them to report to the second site. So some of your sites are not being maintained at all. And when those complaints come in, I really don't want to hear the custodians getting into trouble because of management decisions. We've tried to do the right thing. We want to work with the district, but it's difficult at best when you lay off our members, ask for and receive concessions, and then fail to show any loyalty to our members or respect for our contract. I do want to say that today, Mr. Cerna actually did facilitate a meeting to try to start dealing with some of this. Up until just about an hour ago, I was not going to talk about this. So I want to thank him for starting us on the right track, but I want the board to be aware that these are the kind of things we're dealing with. If we need to work with you, you've got to work with us. You've got to help us to want to do the right thing. Thank you.
Teamsters, UPE. Item 9.0, District Parent Advisory Committees, Community Advisory Committee, District Advisory Council, School Site Councils, District English Learner Advisory Committee, Gifted and Talented Education Advisory Committee, Indian Education Parent Committee, Sacramento Council of Parent-Teacher Association, PTA. Item 9.3, Acting Superintendent Roberts.
Tonight, we do not have a report from the superintendent. Thank you.
Thank you. So item 9.4, the president's report. I did have some prepared remarks and I left them in my car. So I'm going to try to do the best I can off the top of my head and try to repeat what I wrote. I'll just give you a little background of why I've chosen to focus on what I focused on here. Throughout the week, I've read a series of articles along with comments in our published media and about education and about the direction of where any one particular district should go into. And it got me thinking about what could we do better as a board, as a district. And I started thinking about something called the system of profound knowledge, or otherwise known as a continuous improvement process. It was created by our quality guru, W. Edwards Deming, and he had his several points of improvement that I will not review here today. But the most important part of it is allowing for feedback. Feedback from the people who are closest to the task at hand. Feedback that informs the decision makers. And those decision makers then creating policy and direction for the organization at hand. And all of that together provides buy-in. And when we're talking about change and we're talking about improving and we're talking about, in a school system, academic success, we need to take all of the feedback possible from all of our stakeholders, but none more so than those who are close to the task, those who are learning, and those who are teaching, and those who operate within that close circle, whether that be the community, whether that be the parents, whether that be organizations that hire our students when they graduate from our school system. So I have a question to ask the public. Those very public members that I just detailed. If you can do us all the pleasure and the favor of writing to your board member or writing to all of your board members and providing us input on what we can do better as a board. What can we do better as a board to take the district to a different level? What can we do to improve? We have a process, not talking about changing a process, talking about improving the process, what needs to be tweaked so that we can build, in essence, a better widget. This will inform us, the decision makers, what it is that your true wants and needs are. And with that, I thank you for your cooperation. And I move on to item 9.5, student member report, Katrina Yee.
Thank you, President Rodriguez. Summer is dwindling and disappearing quickly with only 1 month left, leaving us to wonder, where has all the time gone? Students are already beginning to get into the back-to-school feeling by attending their school orientation, filling out college applications, and going shopping for new clothes and school supplies. I'm already dreading the sleepless nights and early mornings, but nonetheless I'm excited to see my friends, classmates, and teachers again, which I think most students can agree is worth waking up to go to school every day. Unfortunately, this time of year is difficult for a lot of students because they can't always receive what they ask for, a new backpack, new stationery, or new outfits. Luckily, 24 high school students throughout the district came together to organize a donation drive held at City Hall on July 20th, called Cooperation Donation, where they were able to receive donations of backpacks, school supplies, clothes, as well as food, hygiene products, and toys. They are currently planning on holding a second donation drive in November. On another note, the Student Advisory Council is still hard at work, coming into Cerner several times throughout the summer to prepare for the upcoming school year. At our previous meeting held on July 24th, we discussed the need for transparency between the student board member, the executive board, the youth council, and the entire SCUSD student population. Sure, each executive board member has a title, but at the end of the day, we're still regular students going to the same schools and sitting in the same classrooms. We discussed ways of having students understand that their voice is more prominent than they even realize. Students' opinions carry a lot of influence among adults, and even upon myself. I remember the first day of high school my freshman year back in 2009, I was small and couldn't reach the top of my locker, yet not much has changed. I was even late to half of my classes because I got lost throughout the identical hallways, so I understand how every new student feels. Again, this is what I mean by transparency. I experienced exactly what every new student is going through by coming into a new environment, so in that way, I am transparent to any other student, and I hope to continue that. High school is a daunting and intimidating place. Although it is a challenging 4 years, there are so many opportunities to be involved and to excel through sports, academics, clubs, community service, and so on. The education we receive now is meant to prepare us for the future. With that, I strongly advise all students to take your own education seriously. The work ethic you have now reflects what it'll be like in 5, 10, or even 20 years. But also keep in mind, don't be afraid to explore or ask questions. High school especially is supposed to be the time to figure out what you want to do and who you want to be, but no one has their entire lives planned out by the end of high school. So although many students may soon be stepping into a new school for the first time, I hope that they realize that the education they're receiving is an invaluable resource and they can take advantage of it because they can do so much more with their knowledge way beyond the classroom. Thank you.
Item 9.6, information sharing by board members. Vice President Wu.
I just want to share with my my colleagues that last Thursday I had the opportunity to drop by McClatchy High School for the Summer of Service displays that, and just want to share with my colleagues the amazing work that the kids are doing this summer, both at the middle school level and the high school level, and the projects that they're bringing forward and the way that they can explain what they've been doing this summer and how enthusiastic they are. I was gladdened to see the various principals attending as well, proud of their students, asking me to drop by their school's displays and talk to their students as well. And if they are, if that's any sign of things of the future, I think that Sacramento City Unified School District has an opportunity to move forward and upward. So I congratulate the children, the participants of the Summer of Service. Thank you.